Hello. Hi. How are we all doing today? My name's Cole. Nice to meet you. Live from my home studio in Mesa, Arizona. And I would like to introduce you to the podcast, as well as what I want to be doing with this company that I have called the Bad Dog House. Just as sort of if you're going to bypass everything else I say in this podcast, I want to make one thing clear, that the Bad Dog House is a live sessions production company, I guess. It's really just me and my friends working together to bring the world and everyone in it the music scene of Arizona. I found that the Arizona music scene is something so interestingly intricate and, unique and very artistic. I could use a lot more analogies and, stuff like that, but frankly, to put it simply, it's something special to me. It's been a part of my musical career for the past, I guess we could say half a decade, more than that. So when I was about 16 years old when I started making music here with my band, and the Arizona music scene, has been a big part of that. And I would like to pay homage to that and respects through the Bad Dog House and help other musicians connect with their audiences, help other artists get involved in the scene. I would love to work with, bands, solo artists, rappers, whoever it may be who's interested in showing off their talent, their skills to the world, be it through YouTube, Spotify, whatever service we got out there. Hopefully to do live shows soon. That would be really interesting. And with that, I would like to introduce you all to the podcast. This is something I really don't do. It's something I kind of make fun of other people for doing. Like, why sit in front of a camera talking to nobody, being recorded. Like, why would you do that? It's kind of interesting. I talk to myself, but it's not like in that sense. But I would like to talk to you about my upbringing here in the music scene and how it's sort of inspired me to, what I just basically said, but in a more longer version, giving you a backstory to me, be it that this is the first episode of the podcast and I don't have any co-hosts with me. But I would like to talk about what this podcast is going to do to benefit the Bad Dog House and what exactly the Bad Dog House is going to do, like my vision for it. How it will affect the artists, the audience, and then how we can all support the Bad Dog House, making it move forward, obviously, because this is going to cost a lot of people a lot of time, and therefore I think there should be a little bit of balance for all of that. Knowing that music is important for our community, we should learn to support it as it is. Okay. I talked a little bit about my upbringing with my band at the time. A little self-plug there with my band Odith. You can check us out on Spotify and all that stuff. We are very, very new at the time to the music scene. We didn't know anything. We got a song done. We had a couple of songs down. We had recorded our own home studio album. I think, if I do remember correctly, that was around the time that we were recording our own music, and we had released it, we had produced it, we had put it on, streaming services and whatnot. And by that time, the bassist of the band, Elliot Webb, shout out him, he's an amazing musician. He was reaching out to some producers in the Valley, right? Some people who organize shows, and we got put on a ballot alongside Veronica Everhart, Bummer Girl, and I believe it was Slugbug, if I remember at the time correctly. They are now Tournament. Great band. We played the show, a couple of 16-year-old kids playing an all-ages show with Veronica Everhart, and we realized that these bands were going to fuel our musical, fulfillment. They were going to fill that void in us of like what we needed to do to connect with an audience, what we needed to do with connecting to an environment, a community. I remember me and my friends were kind of looking at Bummer Girl at the time, and they are just, they have this presence with their audience that is just so enamoring. Does that make sense? They presented themselves in a way that felt like the audience was in on it. Everyone enjoyed themselves. The music was absolutely stellar, fantastic, and all those bands really brought it together to us and made us realize, like, oh, this is it. This is how you do it as a musician here in Arizona. And it's unique. Like, it's not canned. It's real raw music creativity made in the valley that really I've never heard from others, like in other places. You get a lot of influence from California, you get a lot of influence from Utah, the New Mexico scene, Colorado scene. And so you get this crazy mix of Western, hardcore, punk, pop music that just kind of screams Arizona in a sense. And I love it. I love going to local shows here, especially here, and seeing bands live in your face, and being able to like listen to what they're creating. And quite frankly, I believe that there needs to be a lot more recognition in wherever you may be, whether you're outside of the state or wherever, just to know like what it is like here, what it is like to be at a show here in Arizona. It's a big community and it needs more recognition. That's why me and my friends and I, we came up with the idea for the Bad Dog House. We were talking online about this with some of my friends about an idea I had after being inspired watching these production companies like NPR News, Audio Tree. There's one in Utah called Rugs Unplugged, and they really do put a focus on artists, musicians, and their music. And I just thought it was cool to like watch these bands live and get like the visual aspect as well as the audio aspect. I think a lot of people will listen to music and, sort of just on whatever, be it Spotify, YouTube, and they'll just kind of listen to it. It's not like they're conscious about it. They're not actively putting themselves into it. They're not developing from it. They're just letting it play. And it becomes numb. And I really do believe that live music, at least giving a visual aspect to music, putting a face to the sound, helps the audience, whoever it may be, see that these are real people. They're not just an album cover on Spotify. They're not just some tag. They're not some user. They're real people. They're making music, and they do what they do because they love it. And they're gaining gear. They have specific sounds, and you can see it happen. And that's what's really interesting to me, is that aspect of it. So that's my why as to why the Bad Dog House should exist. I want the people to be able to see the music that is being made, and I want it to be seen. I want the music to be seen here. Let me rephrase that. I want people to see Arizona music for themselves. I want them to know what it's like. And so, this how we're going to make this happen is based off of how the community is going to react, right? If this does well, then, okay, let's backtrack. I'm not looking for this to do well yet. I'm only looking for the support of the bands. I've reached out to a couple of bands. We're going to get sessions done as soon as I can, get the stuff together, get dates down. Everything else is pretty much set in order. I'm looking currently for a venue. Until then, this space will be used for the live sessions. We will have a production team with an audio engineer, with videographers, hopefully in the future a lighting crew, but for now we can make do with what we got. And we really want to capture what the band's essence is like when they play it live. So you can get that sense watching from wherever. It's really fascinating what kind of stuff we have at our exposure. with services like YouTube, giving any artist, any creator the ability to connect with anyone out there in the world. And I want people everywhere to kind of see what I want people everywhere to get a feel for what the Arizona music scene is like. So that's sort of how we're going to take care of this. We'll be making videos on YouTube, releasing an audio version, like an audio EP on streaming platforms as well. So you get the audio and the visual. And that's what we'll be doing on the Bad Dog House. Now here on the podcast, we'll be hopefully reviewing with the musicians themselves, the artists of whoever, and being able to talk with them about their progress, their desires, where they come from, what they do, and how they make their music. Reviewing their gear even, that would be amazing. I would love to do that. And that's essentially the plan that I have for the Bad Dog House. I'm looking for your support. I'm looking for ways that we can make this good. I'm looking for creators. I'm looking for an audience for these people, because I have so much passion for the Arizona music scene that I would like the world to see what it's like. I probably repeated that a lot of times. It's because I'm very nervous. I've never done anything like this before. And I feel a lot more comfortable talking to someone instead of by myself. So I'm hoping that this is the only time that I ever do a video like this. I guess we'll just sort of keep it at there. I will be opening up a website, a Patreon, a YouTube account. By the time that this is out, I believe my YouTube account will be out. I would love to get an audience to support this project, this idea, and I would like to work together on it. And we'll make it work, and I'll make it worth your while. So keep listening, keep rocking out, and hopefully this is going to be awesome. I think it will be. I think it will be great. I think we'll look back in a couple of years and be like, wow, that's awesome. This is a cool thing. But yeah, thank you for listening, for watching, and keep, I don't know, we're gonna come up with a catchphrase or something. Okay, bye.